Hey you guys, welcome to my channel. I'm so glad you're here. I wanted to take some time during this cleaning video to introduce myself. My name is Brandy. I have a wonderful husband named Sean, and we have been married for a little over 12 years. We have 5 children right now, and I say that because you never know what God has in store. I created this channel to encourage other women to have a heart to serve their family, like the Bible says in Proverbs 31. So let's get started. My goal is to post 2 videos a week. One video will consist of cleaning, decluttering, meal prep, and maybe some day in the life. The other will be like you and I are just friends sitting on the couch chatting about what's going on and how we can better serve our family. So if you like this kind of content, then don't forget to subscribe. So here I would love to share just a little bit about my life and how I finally decided to follow what the Lord asked and become a stay-at-home mom. I hope you enjoy my story. Okay, you guys, I was going to start my story, but I just got my mic in the mail, so I'm hoping that you can leave a comment letting me know that this sounds better than the voiceover from earlier in the video. So I became a mom very early in life compared to my classmates. I had just graduated high school and found out I was pregnant with our first in August, and that's obviously my first semester of college. I was actually very excited and more motivated than ever to get my degree to support my little family. I was going to school to become a teacher. I went ahead and got a job as an aide at a local school while raising my son and also going to college. It was a very busy time. I finally graduated with my associates, and I was actually pregnant with our second. So we decided that it would be a good idea for me to stay at home at this point just to go ahead and finish my teaching degree. So I was 1 year into my bachelor's degree when I found out we were pregnant with our third, and I knew I couldn't do student teaching because you can't miss so many days for having a baby. So I was like, well, what am I going to do? So we found out that I could actually graduate early. So I graduated a semester early with honors, and that was awesome. And so for the second time in my life, I was graduating and walking across the stage with a baby in my belly, and that was such a blessing. They were always my motivation to keep going and finish. I got my first teaching job and was a little upset to leave my kids in daycare, even though we had this wonderful woman that would watch them. Our youngest was only 4 months old at the time, and I just remember crying and just being devastated that I couldn't be with him. But I knew it was what I had worked so hard to achieve, and it was normal at the time to leave your babies with someone else for 8 hours a day when you work to provide for your family. It's all I knew. My mother did it, my grandmother did it, and my friends did it, and my husband was also working. We had actually just bought our first house on just his income. So having a second income was going to boost our savings and help us reach our goals. And honestly, staying at home really didn't cross my mind. There wasn't really many people I knew that stayed at home. So I knew this was just my next step, even if it was so hard to leave them. So fast forward to 4 years in of teaching. I was teaching and I was pregnant with our fourth at the time, and my husband and I kind of sat down and we talked about if I was going to stay home this time or if I was just going to continue teaching, and I ended up continuing to teach. I know that he was encouraging me to stay home, and I felt like the Lord was asking me to stay home, and I just thought, no, it's not teaching that's stressing me out. It is just the school, and I need to just change to a different district. So what did I do? You guessed it. I switched districts, and I really thought that would help. And it did a little bit. I changed grade levels, and that kind of brought some happiness back into teaching, but it ultimately didn't fix my problem. And I'll tell you what my problem was in just a minute. But we did have to sell our home, and when we sold our home, we paid off all of our debt, so I feel like that was a really good choice. But when I was teaching, I could see how easy it was for me to pour everything I had into my students because I loved them and I wanted them to succeed. But when I got home, I had nothing left. No more patience, no more energy or desire to do much of anything with my own kids. My own children and husband were getting the worst of me every single day. I loved my teaching job, and I figured it was all I really knew, and so I just didn't see a way out. I thought that this is where God wanted me, and He continued to push me and push me out of my comfort zone to stay home through the next few years of my career. And I finally gave in and listened when our fifth was born. It was not easy to leave everything I knew and the income we had grown comfortable with to stay home. I also knew that we could not stay in our current rent house because we could not afford it on one income, even if we were debt-free. So what were we to do? So we had the option of possibly finding something cheaper to rent that we could afford on one income, and we also had a 32-foot camper that we had bought a couple years ago, and we didn't owe anything on it. So I looked at my husband after I had prayed about it and said, what if we all move into this camper? Now, this wasn't like a totally crazy idea because we had talked about it when we first got the camper that we wanted to put it on some land to build a house. But we didn't think that we were going to end up going down to one income and learning to survive on that and moving into this camper onto some RV park property. And we didn't know how long we were going to be there, so we really had to trust that God was going to take care of us, and eventually we would find a home, and this would just be our new adventure. So we were in the camper for about 10 months, and here recently we finally found a rent home that suits our needs and fits within our budget. And so I'm just really grateful that we're finally in a home, and I have my very own dishwasher and washer and dryer. I don't even care if we're renting. I'm so grateful to have a whole new look on gratitude and contentment. So I had to get a channel going to encourage you that you are stronger than you think, and I believe in you, and God believes in you too. I just want to say thank you for spending so much time with me, and thank you for watching this, and I'll see you guys on the next one.